So, while I was starting this, when I began this project, one of my other intentions was to, let's unplug this before we start a fire. It's only 12 volts, but you never know, it might get sparky. So when I started this project with the clear, I had 100% intended to create lighting with it, and it's working okay. I should do all this out of hand-blown glass. Not for nothing, I haven't run my glass blowing stuff in almost a year now, for a lot of reasons. The number one reason is I got a ton of stuff I can't sell, right? So on this particular project here, and I'm going to show how I did the whole thing, kind of. So I went into, Bamboo Studios has what they call a vase maker. It's an online cloud-based design program, and you can make different vases with it. Like, I made this one. This is another one that took like 15 hours to print, and not for nothing, it didn't come out all that great. For whatever reason, whatever that program is using to generate its 3D models, anytime you print anything off of it, it takes fucking forever. That's a pretty cool program, especially if you don't know how to use any other type of design program. You can go onto Bamboo Studios and click on Maker Lab, and then click on Vase. They also have one for like signs, which I failed at because, again, the printing time on some of the projects is ludicrous, and it doesn't have spell check. So I went into Bamboo Studio Maker Lab, and I came up with this thing. This was the actual first clear project I did with that clear, and you can see it actually screwed up right there. Apparently there was some leftover goo or something in the extruder, and that's what it printed. So, word of advice: if you're going to go from any other color to clear, print a Benchy or something with the clear first to make sure that you've purged all of the material out. The Bamboo X1 will print a Benchy in about, I don't know, 20 minutes or less. So use that 20 minutes to purge your thing. Even if you do a purge tower, you also want to make sure your build area and your bed is clear, because I screwed a couple of those up too. Got like weird colors in my clear, because it's just like when I was painting cars, right? I didn't clean my spray gun enough, and inevitably when I'm painting a white car, a big blob of fucking yellow or green or fucking purple will blop out and land in the middle of the hood of a pearl white Lexus. Don't ever buy a pearl white car, kids. So I printed this thing out first, and then because the Maker Lab didn't have the ability to, it printed out, the Maker Lab, that the Vase program had no way to put a flange on it. So I went into Fusion and I designed this flange that goes in here, right? So there's a flange in there, and then you can just set it down on here, and voila, right? So I also designed the base in Fusion. Now, when I originally designed the base, I actually had the intention of using a bulb like this in here, and I still probably could, actually. Maybe I will. Nah, too much like work. That, and again, this thing is going to be god-awful fucking bright. You know what? I might actually do that. This is a eureka moment, kids. So, let's go back to the original design here that I've just changed in my head. So I went into Fusion and I designed this base. Now this base is actually really heavy. It took forever to print. I printed this out in, I think PETG. That's printed solid PETG. And like I said, I had originally designed it to take a wire, which I think I may actually do now. Now that I have this light bulb here, I'm having a moment of clarity that maybe I will use it as a low voltage lighting. My mother-in-law loves those battery-powered lights that you plug in, these things. So I have a whole bunch of these laying around. I had a whole bunch of these things laying around, these pixie lights. Well, I originally just jammed the pixie lights in there and then put the lid on. And it was kind of like, eh. I didn't like it. So I took this piece of PVC and I wiped all the paint and color and stuff off of it, and then I very haphazardly strung the these pixie lights around the inside on a piece of PVC. And my original game plan for this was to just glue this piece of PVC into the middle of it, and then glue the lid on it, and be done with it. And then you could have like this little portable light that you put everywhere. But quite frankly, I don't like it. It's not bright enough, and I don't have any good way other than maybe to print a plug at the bottom of this to hold this thing into place. So we'll see. I actually just, like I said, I literally just had an epiphany. It'd take me 2 minutes to take this thing back apart and about just as long to wire this thing up. So we're going to do 2 videos today. 3, 2, 3. Maybe I'll show how I wired this up now. All right. So that's it for this video. Thank God, right? 25 minutes of me yabbering on like an idiot. Okay, full disclosure. I got pissed off at my video camera while I was filming the other half of this video, okay? And I totally forgot that I got pissed off and stopped filming, or I don't know. I didn't film the rest of it. And whatever, it is what it is, right? So, here's the completed lamp. What I ended up doing was taking the light that I showed earlier in the video, where I have my epiphany moment, and I installed it in this base. Now, I did get a little sidetracked with that project. I'm pulling through the fucking trash again. God damn it. I can't not fucking fall through the fucking garbage. Alright, so I got a little sidetracked with this project, and I got pissed off at my video camera. And I actually designed a plug for it. So in here is a plug that goes into the bottom of that lamp, which is kind of asinine because at the end of the day, I ended up gluing the whole thing together anyway. Whatever. So all projects weren't a failure. The project wasn't a failure. The project actually worked, but it was kind of superfluous and didn't need to be done. But I was able to go into Fusion, and after a couple different iterations, I was able to design a plug that goes into the bottom of the light, and it's made out of TPU, and it actually worked really well. The only reason I didn't use this one is because this was my prototype. I went in and redid it. When I glued this together, I got CA glue in the holes there, and it fucked up the wires. So back into the garbage. I've actually had to pull this out of the garbage 3 fucking times. Probably I'm doing it 4 times now. So now there's a couple things that I had to do to make it work. So where I had originally made for the light to go in, I hadn't taken into consideration that the base was square. I built this before I actually had a lamp in my hand. So I ended up having to hog it out a little bit with a step drill. And I printed a base for it. I printed a base out of PLA, wired everything all together, and now we have a light. It's exponentially brighter than it was, but it's not offensive. Well, then the total irony of it is I don't really have anywhere to put it or any way to power it. So there's a couple ways I could do that. One would be to trim these off. I do have 12 volt DC 12 volt plugs, like like a pigtail that you could plug a 12-volt transformer into and then just plug it into a wall. Or I could add it to my low voltage lighting system. I don't really have anywhere to put it right now. So this project was kind of superfluous. It just kind of gave me something to do when I was, just gave me something to do. So there you go. There's my, once again, another 12-volt lighting fixture. I said I'm okay with it. I don't really love it. And like I said, I can put a 12-volt, like a little pigtail on here that you could plug a power transformer in, and then you could plug it in anywhere at that point, and it would be 12-volt light. Or again, like I said, I could add wire to it, clip this off, put a little heat shrink on it, clip this off, add the 12-volt, the low voltage wire, and then run it into my existing low voltage lighting system. I know, like I said, I don't know what I'm going to do with it, and it is pretty bright, but it's not annoyingly and glaringly bright because of the dome that's on it. So there you go. One more stupid project.